Welcome everyone. Another market blitz. We got a lot to go over, so we will get right into it. Risk disclaimer, read it over. And at the end of this video, there will be a parabolic SAR trading strategy. So if you're not familiar with the way we trade on this channel, this will help you out how you can use the parabolic SAR to count Elliott waves. And we combine that with some EMAs. It's a quick rundown, but there will be more parts to this coming out that we'll get into. So let's get started, and we'll start off here on NASDAQ. So nothing doing, right? These are the arrows we had up there for yesterday. You got an up, you got a down, you got an up, right? Are you in some kind of a B wave back to these lows? So, and that's kind of where we're at right now. If you wanted to take a shot down here on a B wave on your potential daily 34, that's what you could do. So other than that, I don't see too much, right? You're just playing around within this range and not much to do till you start forming some kind of a structure. So um if we saw a B wave down, then that would be a structure we could recognize, and we can go for this C wave up, right? That is that. There's nothing doing on oil. Oil continues to drop, right? You're below your weekly pivot. We went over this yesterday, how you had a couple 1 hour 34B trades. You had a 1 hour 34B here. You have a 1 hour 34B here after a three swing sequence. Not much to do on oil now, right? Gold. Let's look at gold, because gold has a couple options, all right? So we'll look at the 4 hour chart. We're still in the same options we've been in. The only difference is now you have a potential 5 swing sequence for your B wave, all right? So is this just a complex B wave? Is this a complex A, B down here? And we're getting ready to go up for a C wave up to the 100, right? So that is one option. That is one option. And the other option we had from earlier in the week is still on the table too, because instead of an A, this could also be a 1, and this can be a 2, and we're on our way up for a wave 3 up to the 1618. So that's another option. All right, and the last option is this is all your correction. All right, this ABC right here is all your correction. 1, 2, 3 up. All right, and this becomes all your correction at that point. And this is all your correction, right? You got an A, you got a B, and you got a C on A, B, C. And this is a 5 wave leading diagonal down. And what you're going to want to see, if that's the case, is you're going to want to see a correction down here, right? This against these highs. So against these highs, we need to start building out a correction. All right. So if we start correcting down here, then you can take a 1 hour 34B trade, just in case this is a sneaky leading diagonal for the downside. All right. So if this is all our correction, because this is the high, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, correction, and we're going to the downside. All right. So if you wanted to take a shot on a 1 hour 34B trade, you could do that. But as of right now, one hasn't really set up, right? In the 1 hour chart, you shouldn't have really taken any trades in this in the 1 hour, because you don't have any setups, right? You're overbought here, but you don't have a setup. Now you're oversold. Your EMAs are flipped, right? You're down here, you're oversold, but you don't have a buy setup. So up here, you're overbought. You don't have a sell setup on that next pullback, right? So if we come up here in the 1 hour chart to oversold and our stack is holding, then you can go ahead and take a 1 hour 34B. So, like I said, I'll cover more of this in the next parabolic SAR video I take out. But if we see three parabolic weight, right? You see 1, 2, 3 in your chart, and we're overbought, and now our stack is held together. You can go ahead and take that 1 hour 34B to see what happens. But so they are the three possibilities we have on gold. So clear all this off again, and you have the possibility this goes back up to the 100, and we also have the possibility this keeps going to the 1618, and then the possibility that this is all your correction. We go sideways here for a minute, and we drop. All right, and then we're dropping. So they are your three possibilities. Like I said, you haven't had any entries in the 1 hour chart, and that's kind of the good thing about this system as well. It'll keep you out of the choppy phases like this, even if you're trying to trade patterns and stuff, right? If you thought this was an even if you thought this was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 swing sequence, and you bought this, even though you didn't have an EMA stack, you still made out all right, right? At worst case scenario, you put it to break even, and it comes and tags you out again. Or you're still in the trade because you would want to see a stop below the low that you haven't got yet. So that is that. That's the story on gold. Euro, not much, right? We got our rate decision tomorrow. You're not going to really be in that pair. CAD, all right? I'll throw CAD on the 4 hour chart, right? We got rate decision tomorrow. And if they come out and they're expected to cut the rates, some of the analysts are mixed, but if they leave the rate unchanged, then you'll probably get an initial spike down like this. All the way down to our daily 200. All right. So if we get you want to have orders down here at your daily 200. So I will have orders sitting down here in case they do not cut rates and we get that initial spike down. All right. But then when they start the press conference, there's a good chance that you're going to go right back up, and then most of this red candle becomes wick at that point. So, and if we close the day down here at the 200, then just shut the trade down. So that's pretty much my game plan. And we went over a million times why you want buys on dollar CAD, right? You're inside of a potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 swing sequence. And when we step out to the monthly chart, we're looking for that monthly X wave up, right? On the monthly chart, we have a flat over here for the potential W. And like I showed you in the parabolic SAR video, you're looking for a potential X up here. But it could also go higher than that, right? You could take these highs out. So we're looking for an X wave on up for an A, a B, and a C. Could have potentially started that already because you have 1, 2, 3 waves down on the monthly chart. You could be inside of a monthly impulse right now. So you want buys. Now that doesn't mean buy this before the rate decision, all right? Let's say they cut rates tomorrow, right? We're on the 4 hour chart. We don't have any 4 hour setup, right? You're completely sideways. So let's just say, for example, we get this tomorrow, right? And you're going to be thinking, oh, damn, I knew I should have bought, right? Forget about that. Because it will pull back. It will give you a 4 hour 34B trade, right? You'll pull your fibs on. Let it go as high as it wants. Let it go, right? It could go all the way up to here. Let it go all the way up, right? If we got a 4 hour candle that looked like that, just let it go. All right? Because this thing will give you a 3 or 5 swing structure back down to a 4-hour 34B, all right? Or a 1-hour 34. If you want to be more aggressive, you take a 1-hour 34B after that, right? So you will get setups and you'll get clean setups. Don't jump into any spikes. Don't try and, if you're not in anything from this candle, right? If you're not in from this candle down here, this 89B or this 89B, because you never got closes below this low. All right, you went below the low, but you didn't close. So if you took this 89B or this 89B and you're waiting for closes, then you can hang on to it, right? So as long as if price comes down here, you're not going to be in a shitload of pain. All right, so if price gives us this tomorrow, make sure you can withstand it without taking any pain. All right, so, and like I said, I will have an order down here at my daily 200. So that is dollar CAD, right? Aussie. What do we got? Couple possibilities on Aussie, right? So we're on the daily chart, and there's a couple, right? It kind of looks like you're correcting now, and we could be on our way up there. That is the less likely possibility, right? We think this is the less likely possibility because when we jump out to the higher time frame, you're overbought, running into your 89, and we're looking at all of this as an expanded flat. For downside, I think is the more high probable pattern right there. All right, so that is where we're at on Aussie dollar. Do we have anything to do now? All right. I mean, this is also a sneaky pattern right here. So I'll dive down to the 1 hour and we'll go over this. All right, here is your high of, let me clear all these drawings off. All right, so one of the potentials is you have 5 swings, right? You have one, you have one, you have two, you have three, 4, 5. And this 5th wave does break this low. Now, there is a chance that this is a leading diagonal for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 swing sequence for, I drew that wrong, for a larger degree 1. All right, so we know that our higher time frame is bearish still. Our 89 and 200 are still trending. This could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leading diagonal down for a wave 1. And over here we have a W, an X, and a Y. Remember I showed you this in the parabolic SAR video, right? So WXY structure. All right, so, and all that would be is our W wave's a zigzag, our X wave's a flat, and we have another zigzag for a Y wave. All this can potentially be your wave 2, all right? And you're getting ready to come down for a wave 3. Now this is just one possibility, all right? So you have a 1, you have a 2, and we are getting ready for an impulsive wave down to the 1618 or the 2618, all right? To kick off that weekly impulse down that we're looking for, all right? So is this a 1? And we're getting ready for a 3 down to the 1618. All right. Is that what we're getting ready to do? That's one possibility. All right. That is one possibility. So, how would you play this, right? And if we just zoom into this structure right here, so let's look at this structure. And what are we doing now? We're correcting underneath of this structure, all right? We're correcting underneath of this structure. So you can take a 1 hour 34B if we get it, all right? Or let me take these drawing the indicators off. You can just stick an order below the low of this correction, all right? Because if we're just going to correct and drop, you stick, if you get triggered, you stick your stop above the high of the correction, all right? And now you're in a potential, and now you're looking for the move down, right? If we come down to these lows, you put that trade to break even, all right? So once we get down here, you put it to break even and see what happens. All right. Now, I don't want you to think that's the only possibility. That's just one possibility. So, um another possibility is you're building out a larger, you're going to build out a much larger X wave right here. Kind of get a little messier, and you're building out a larger ABC, right? And then this, since this wave down here, and then you would basically be looking for a flat correction, right? And then you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, and then this becomes your W, your X, and now you're coming down for that Y wave. All right. All right. Now we have a W and X Y structure. All right. So that's your other possibility. But either way, this structure still takes you down for an impulse right here. So if you have a sell order below here, you'll still be able to get it to break even. All right. And I'll just go over the last possibility with you. Last possibility is I'll clear all this off. Last possibility is you're working your way on up right here for a flat. And this piece, you're just making a larger B wave at that point, right? Now you got wave up, wave down, and right. So you'd be looking for something along those lines. So this is the last possibility. If this happens, you'll never get triggered on an order down here correcting at the break of this structure, right? So, and if it makes the other pattern we talked about, the flat in the middle, you're still going to get an impulse down right here. So I think it's a good idea to stick an order down here, all right? Now, can this happen as well, right? Can you just get tagged and then it starts making this B wave up? You can. So, all right, then you take a loss. No big deal. You take losses in trading all the time, but I think this is a good area to take a shot at a sell. All right, on Aussie dollar for those three patterns, right? So we got 1, we got 2, we got 3, and we go up, or clear this off. Mouse ain't cooperating. Or we're just building out a larger B wave structure right here, right? Larger B wave, and then we drop, and then we're going up, and we're just making a flat right here, all right? Last possibility is it keeps on running down to the 1618 because this is a leading diagonal wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. All right, so they are your possibilities on Aussie dollar. Not much doing on pound, not much, right? There's nothing on New Zealand. Aussie's got probably the cleanest structure with NCAD for the game plans for tomorrow. Yen is showing some strength. So the question is this a running flat right here, right? And are we going to go up for one more? We'll see what the reaction is. So, we don't have to do too much right yet. There's a chance this is all running flat, and we're going up for one more C wave up right here. If we get this, then we'll be looking for that. All right, so not much to do right now on dollar yen. We'll see what happens at this 100. What kind of reaction are we going to get? Are we going to get an impulse, or is it just going to turn into a three-wave correction, start dropping, start breaking structure like I just showed you in Aussie, right? We go to Aussie, and we're on the 1 hour chart. Are you going to create some kind of a structure and then start breaking that structure and correcting, right? And then that'll be it. Sell. Let dollar, if dollar yen's going to keep dropping, or any of these yen pairs for that matter, CAD yen, right, euro yen, if they're going to keep dropping, they'll make a correction that looks like this. You'll have a break of structure. You'll have a correction after the break of structure, and you drop, right? So, that is that. Now, if you took Euro Swiss, take lock in profit in that thing. So, right, there's our entry candle up here. I'll throw the indicators back home. Here was our entry, and you got 3-1 on that coming into your weekly pivot and your 200. So, and you got rate decisions. So just take your 3-1 and call it a day. CAD Swiss, right? It sucks about this one because this was our trade of the week, and just never get right. It gave us one. We started out the week right here on CAD Swiss. All right, it drops, comes up, gives us a running flat right here, and if you didn't catch this 8 o'clock 1 hour candle, then you're pretty much not in that trade, right? So, it didn't take long for this thing to start running. So, pound dollars. We talked about pound dollars, right? And we talked about the fact that this could be a 4 hour ABC. And we went over this a number of times, why you want this trade. And you're going now, right? So pound dollars, if you're not in pound dollars, you're looking for 1 hour 34B trades. Now, we'll go over this structure real quick as well. You're looking for a 1 hour 34B trade, and you're broke the high, right? But there is a potential that it can still be a WXY structure in the 1 hour chart. All right, so there is a potential that it throws you a zigzag or a flat correction, right? For your Y wave, because now you have a potential WXY. If it throws us a flat, we're buying. If it throws us a zigzag, we could buy the completion of that. But it also could be the start of the impulse, because all of this right here can be your correction. You have an A, a B, and a C wave down. All right, and you broke the high. So you want to take a 1 hour 34B right here. All right, you want to take a 1 hour 34B to see what happened for continuation. All right, put our EMAs back on and like this. So you want to take a 1 hour, your first 1 hour 34B. It's going to be our first high or low after the break of structure, right? It'll be your first 34B, all right? If we don't make a higher high, and price rolls over, it's just making a larger WXY structure, and we'll look for buy setups after that. So, but you don't assume it's going to make a WXY. So you got to take the 1 hour 34B. All right. If you want to wait for a 4 hour 34B, you could do that as well. So if you wind up missing the 1 hour 34B trade, you can sit on your hands till you get your first oversold 4 hour 21B or 34B, something along those lines. All right. We're looking for that weekly move up. We're looking for the weekly move to come take out these highs. You're looking for around 700 pips to come take out them highs. All right. So that's what we're looking for in pound Oz. Pounds are, or dollars are. If you took this yesterday, right? We talked about this 4 hour entry yesterday. We were down here, and you wanted to buy this, right, in the 4 hour chart. So now you basically put it, you don't want to see it close below this level. So your trade's basically a break even now if you took that trade we talked about yesterday in dollars are. All right. If you took the 4 hour entry, you don't want to see it close below this level. And if you're in this trade, go ahead and take your risk off the table. Take your risk off the table. You don't want to see it close below there. And that's pretty much all I got, right? These Swiss pairs just been running. You're coming into some areas, but we don't have signals yet, like pound Swiss. You are coming into 100 on this potential, running flat. We don't have a signal yet. We'll see what sets up. So we'll see what kind of reaction we get down here. Because like I said, when you jump out to the higher time frames, you're coming off your weekly 200. All right, so are we going to get a trade back up to our weekly 200 for a double top or continuation? Or is it going to consolidate down here and start running down to make 50 down to the 50 of this impulse up? We'll see what happens. So, but we are coming into some good levels on pound Swiss, coming into that 100. Nothing to do right now. 4 hour, yeah, there's nothing really to do. Do you want to buy this 100? I mean, you can. You could buy the 100, but just calculate your stop. Right? If you're buying the 100, it's hard to calculate your stop because you don't want you know you have potential to run down to the 200, and that would still be a higher low. So you would like to see some kind of reversal in the lower time frame, right? If you're going to take a shot down here at the 100, do it on the 5-minute chart or the 15-minute chart with a good buy setup, a good 34B trade, and then put that to break even. So that's how you play that. All right, and that is pretty much all I got. So your pound Oz, we're looking for pullbacks in the 1 hour chart. I showed you the potential WXY structure that could form in the 1 hour chart if you get stopped out of a 1 hour 34B. Reason you want that is for that weekly impulse up. You're going to take profit in euros Swiss. And I showed you the structure in Aussie. You can keep a sell order below the low of that structure in Aussie. CAD, the game plan for tomorrow is to put a buy order down at the daily 200. And that's pretty much that. So dollars are, you're at break even now. So that's all I got. If you like what I'm doing, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.